Hello everybody, my name is Kaiser and today I am building a model Xscape. For those not familiar with Milton Keynes Xscape, the building opened its doors in the year 2000. The building was developed by a company called X Leisure and designed by the Falcon Brown architecture firm based in Newcastle upon Tyne. As one of the most significant landmarks in Milton Keynes, Xscape hosts a variety of restaurants and fast food chains, which includes everything from Nando's to Wagamama's and Five Guys to Mackey's. Xscape also features a range of shops and services, which includes a real snow ski slope, an upstairs trampoline park, a downstairs mini golf, and a 16-screen Cineworld cinema. Also, as of researching this video, I learned that the funnels on the front of the building actually contain stairs. Xscape was able to hold hegemony over the MK skyline for around 22 years, and located in the beating heart of the city, it forms a foundational cornerstone of the developing Milton Keynes skyline. And now, with that introduction out of the way, I will now start describing the development process of building this Lego scale build. The first task I set myself was deciding on the scale of the model. By using information listed on the Xscape wiki page alongside map applications like Google Maps and Google Earth, I was able to determine the rough height, length, and width of the structure. The scale I decided on was a 30 stud wide by 51 stud long model, with the highest point of the build being 12 bricks tall. The roughly actual size of the building is approximately 150 meters wide by 240 meters in length, with the height of 44 meters. Now, skipping over some basic calculations I made, the scale comes to almost 1 to 100th of the actual size of the Xscape building, and technically the height of the build is 1 to 100th scale, while the length and width are roughly 17 to 1000 and 16 to 1000 scale respectively, but that can be ironed out if and after the set gets through a LEGO Ideas approval stage. As you've seen so far in this video, I have built the outline and front facade of Xscape. Now I have moved on to the ground and first floor. These floors I decided to tile with the colors matching the floor plan map of Xscape. The back portion of Xscape contains the Snow Zone ski slope, the iFly indoor skydiving center, and a Nuffield Health gym. The rest of the ground floor is covered with a closed casino, shops, restaurants, and other leisure facilities like the Volcano Falls Adventure Mini Golf. For this model, I wanted to place mini builds inside Xscape. These were to be held in place with tiles with studs. This was to reflect the most culturally and historically relevant landmarks, objects, and ideas that form the identity of Milton Keynes. Despite the city construction only beginning in 1970, this area of Buckinghamshire, with its great propinquity to London and other significant urban areas in southeast England, has a deep and rich history, with several historical structures and settlements represented in the mini builds. By the end of this project, I had created 36 different mini builds to embody that identity of Milton Keynes, its people, its industry, and the buildings that many of its citizens pass every day. This project also aimed to tie the older history of the region to its relatively new city of the future. Before we jump into the mini build creation segment of the video, I want to shout out some building tutorial credits for a few of the mini builds. First is the mini Ferris wheel design that I adapted from the Lego Paradise YouTube channel. You can check out that tutorial with the link in the description. For the concrete cows mini build, I used a great tutorial from the YouTube channel Gcast. You can also check out that tutorial with a link in the description. And the third mini build, I got some inspiration from the Point Lego build created by Matthew Kaufman. I've linked a source to that design and to the 2 YouTube videos in the description below. Now I began adding in rough height references underneath the Xscape roof. This allowed me to limit the size of the mini builds I was creating to ensure that they would fit under the Xscape roof. This enabled the mini builds to only require slight changes instead of complete redesigns near the end of the video. The first mini build serves to commemorate the strategic location of Milton Keynes, designed to be equidistant between London, Cambridge, Oxford, Birmingham, and Leicester. The first part of this mini build is a mini version of the Elizabeth Tower, Big Ben, which was constructed over 160 years ago. Alongside Big Ben, I've also included mini builds of Queen's College, Cambridge, the Radcliffe Camera in Oxford, and Birmingham's Town Hall. Representing the future of the Milton Keynes skyline, the 14-story building Hotel La Tour was built. opened in 2022. It includes a restaurant and bar on the 14th floor. The church of Christ the Cornerstone was completed in 1991. As an ecumenical church, it offers a bridge to different sects of Christianity to create unity in the heart of MK. The church was dedicated to Queen Elizabeth II on the 13th of March 1992. On the west side of Willen Lake, a lake which was created in the 1970s, stands at 36 meters tall, the Willen Observation Wheel. With 24 gondolas, the wheel was officially opened on September 12, 2021. The next mini build is a great example of restoration work which helps to form a connection to local history. The restored Bradwell-windmill was built in 1805, constructed from durable limestone. The mill produced wheat, milling barley, and more. Around 100 years after closing in 1876, the mill was restored into full working order in 2014. The first peace pagoda of its kind to be built in the Western Hemisphere, built in 1980 by the monks and nuns of the Nippozan Myohoji, the Milton Keynes Peace Pagoda was built to inspire peace. This mini build pays homage to the bankrupt Roman villa. This original farmhouse was built around 100 CE, with parts of the existing ruin being recycled to build structures like the Bradwell Abbey. The concrete cows are a famous sculpture in Milton Keynes created by the American artist Liz Lee as a part of a collaboration with the then Milton Keynes Development Corporation. I decided to depict a single cow for the mini build. Opening the same year as the release of the Back to the Future film in 1985, The Point was the UK's first multiplex cinema. It originally had red neon lights creating a red glowing pyramid at night, and despite the building's deterioration, the building still remains. Bletchley Park, the now infamous centre of Allied code breaking during World War II, was once shrouded in mystery until the story of its involvement in the war broke in 1974. Today, the estate has been transformed into a key English museum, and I've decided to create a mini build of the Victorian manor house on the site, which was constructed in the 1870s. As this was the site where history was changed forever with the breaking of the Nazi Enigma cipher. Following the unfortunate death and removal of the 200-year-old oak tree that stood in Oak Court, Midsummer's Place in 2015, the empty area was transformed with the Upside Down House, which was opened on Saturday, the 12th of November 2022. The house is owned by the Upside Down House UK company. However, as of researching for this video, the Upside Down House is set to be replaced by a bakery. King Charles III, the then Prince of Wales, took part in the official opening ceremony of the Milton Keynes Central Railway Station in 1982. This station superseded Bletchley as the main station for Milton Keynes, with the station being featured in the 1987 movie Superman 4. The Tickford Bridge stands as one of the last remaining cast iron bridges in Britain. It was constructed in 1810 over the River Ousel in Newport Pagnell, and it remains the oldest bridge in the city of Milton Keynes that serves the needs of today's road traffic. The next mini build symbolizes the nearly 130 roundabouts that form the backbone of the Milton Keynes grid system, which consequently makes Milton Keynes host the highest concentration of roundabouts in the UK. Another famous landmark in Milton Keynes is the Milton Keynes Shopping Centre that was opened on the 25th of September 1979 by Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. At the time, it became the longest shopping centre in the world at 720 metres, and today the structure accommodates over 150 stores, which includes many restaurants, a supermarket, and other services. The civic offices of the now MK City Council were built from yellow brick and glass in 1979 and were designed by the architect Harry Faulkner Brown. The building is located near to the meeting place of the Anglo-Saxon Seklo 100 Mound. The next mini build represents the National Bowl, which was opened in 1979 and which has a maximum capacity of 65,000 people. Stadium MK, which was built in 2007, is home to MK Dons and MK Dons Women. The stadium can seat a capacity of 30,500 people, which is expandable to 45,000. The Tree Cathedral at Newlands, Milton Keynes was planted in 1986 and was designed by the landscape architect Neil Higson based on Norwich Cathedral. The cathedral features a number of trees, including giant redwood, cherry, and pine trees. This next mini build is dedicated to the obscure new Bradwell Aqueduct that was built in 1991. This was the first new aqueduct to be built for the Grand Union Canal in over a century. The new aqueduct enabled canal traffic to pass over the road traffic below while maintaining the Grand Union Canal's connections between London, Birmingham, and Leicester. And the Grand Union Canal, despite the shift from commercial to leisure traffic, continues to serve an estimated 35,000 boats across its 2,000 miles of navigable waterways. Milton Keynes Theatre is one of the most successful theatres in the UK outside of London's West End and serves roughly 450,000 visitors every year. The structure was opened in 1999. Midsummer Place was opened in 2000 as a southward extension of the central Milton Keynes shopping centre. The light pyramid in Campbell Park was commissioned in 2012 to replace the previously lightning-damaged beacon. It was first lit to celebrate Queen Elizabeth II's Diamond Jubilee. LMS Wolverhampton and Stony Stratford steam tramway was built with a small 3-foot 6-inch track gauge. The line opened in 1887, connecting the towns of Wolverhampton and Stony Stratford, and the line closed in 1926 whilst facing financial difficulties. The Fenny Lock, built in 1802, has the smallest and shallowest rise of any lock on the Grand Union Canal network at roughly 30 centimetres. Near Willen Lake, the Millennium Medicine Wheelstone Circle was built from limestone in the year 2000 and was inspired by British stone circles and the legends of the Hopi Nation. The medieval Seklo Mound was the mute mound of the Seagull 100 as it formed a high point in the area's topography. This next mini build is of Gulliver's Land, which is adjacent to Campbell Park. This children's theme park opened in 1999 as Gulliver's third park. The site features a model of a Gigantosaurus dinosaur and also features a resort. The next mini build is of the All Saints Church. The construction of the All Saints Church was begun in the 12th century during Norman rule over Britain. It is one of the oldest surviving buildings in MK alongside other structures like the Bradwell Abbey. I've also included the Church of St. Peter and St. Paul in Olney, which sits in the district of the city of Milton Keynes. It was initially constructed in the 14th century and was the birthplace of the famous Amazing Grace hymn. For the next couple of mini builds, I wanted to reflect on the prospering MK economy and to represent just a few companies from the diverse range of industries and sectors that are based in MK. One such company is the Red Bull Racing Formula 1 team, which has based their headquarters in MK since its formation in 2005. Another is WD-40, who based their European headquarters in Milton Keynes, opening their first office in 1985. For the second to last mini build, I decided to create a model of a Nifty Lift. The Nifty Lift company had moved to Milton Keynes in 1988 and moved to a purpose-built headquarters in MK in 1994. The worldwide seller, Nifty Lift is one of the largest mobile elevating work platform manufacturers in Europe. To cap off the mini builds and to finish what the first 4 mini builds began at the start of this segment, which commemorated the strategic location of the design in Milton Keynes, I decided to model the Clock Tower in Leicester, which was constructed in 1868, with its construction acting as a solution to traffic problems faced in Leicester's former hay and straw market. With the mini builds finished, I made some minor adjustments to the outline of the ground and first floor of the Xscape model before solving how I'd fit the mini builds in the structure. Some of the mini builds underwent redesigns as they were too large to fit underneath the roof of the LEGO Xscape design. This can be seen with the redesign of Big Ben that just occurred, but some mini builds could fit underneath the Xscape roof just by adjusting their stands or orientation. An example of a mini build redesign can be seen in the redesign of the Peace Pagoda, where reducing the height of the small model was necessary to fit it underneath the roof of Xscape. I decided to begin positioning the tallest mini builds first, working from the front of the Xscape facade down to the end of the structure, fitting in the progressively smaller mini builds as I went along. Here you can see the edits I made to the Nifty Lift by shortening and compacting the mini build to prevent any pieces overlapping the roof bricks. This, coupled with a slight redesign of the Willen observation wheel, completed that portion of the mini build inside layout. I was able to fit the Bradwell-windmill on the right side of the layout when looking from the front of the Xscape building. When fitting the Gulliver's Land mini build, I had to shorten some of the towers. Next, I adjusted the height of the Hotel Latour building. This required editing the central part of the structure to prevent the building clipping through the bricks of the Xscape roof. For the Milton Keynes Central Railway Station mini build, I had to remove the piece below the red minifigure trophy statuette so that it could fit underneath the Xscape roof. The point mini build fit easily into position, whilst I slightly changed the roof of the Milton Keynes Civic Offices mini build by changing the corner 1x1 Lego tile for a quarter round 1x1 Lego tile. I changed 3 of the 4 sides of the Church of Christ the Cornerstone mini build so that the 1x2 Lego grill tiles wouldn't clip into the surrounding mini builds on the layout. You can also see that I added in the Milton Keynes Upside Down House mini build, the Bletchley Park Manor House mini build, and then began adding in the Red Bull mini build. The rest of the mini build placement was similar to what has been shown, however I did redesign the back of the first floor to allow for some mini builds to fit into the Xscape model. Here we have the final design of the Xscape Lego set. Here you'll see how the set looks with the mini builds inside and with them progressively removed. Here you can see how the removed back portion of the Xscape model looks with all of the mini builds removed from the first floor. If you enjoyed this video and would like to support this project, I would be extremely grateful if you support this LEGO idea through the top link in the description below. And to finish off this video, I created a little montage of the different stages I've just shown you. If you enjoyed this video, consider smashing the like button, subbing to the channel, hitting the bell icon, and voting for the build with the top link in the description below. Goodbye for now. Unfortunately, due to the LEGO Ideas guidelines, I had to remove the mini builds, but please still check out the LEGO idea. Thank you and goodbye.